another woman on the planet but a black American woman that can take a butter knife and cut that nigga's tires to the rim. And we know you ain't going to classes, huh? You hear me? We know it ain't something you discuss, huh? And all you ask that nigga, who's Melba? A black man, I go all over the world. I spend millions of dollars for research. That's why you see me with them white boys, they can't trick me. Ron or Garland, what year were we here demonstrating against them hoes? Where's Ron? What, you remember what year?
No, we were on Delmar?
Yeah. It was called the Stroll. Any of y'all old enough to know that? Black women, 50 blocks every. So I'm on a TV show here, CBS. And he said, well, Mr. Gregory, why you been out here this long marching? You against pot? No, just take it downtown. First National Bank, prostitution is for the benefit of white men. They said, you mean black men? She my sister. I had her in the slave tent. She didn't have a job and I didn't have a job. Pussy's something you buy. And now I get her after she leave you, dripping wet with a pocket full of your money. This is what the whole game is about. So when I went to college at Southern Illinois University, the whole house was run by a black woman, Ma Hatchett. Niggas couldn't go. The Olympics is a pussy thing for the rich white boys, huh? To send their children. The Malaysian airplane that was missing, y'all remember that? Do you know that little town, country, has 129 airlines? Did you know that? That little bitty town, country, 129 separate airlines flying. What do? You ever bought anything from Malaysia? It's where billionaire white boys go to freak out with 6 and 7 and 2-year-old girls. Huh? That's what it's about. I know this and NBC don't know it. Huh? I know it, and NBC don't know it. And y'all sitting by that bullshit? Somewhere. That's why Richard Pryor's dead. That's what run him crazy. His mama was a hoe, his grandmother ran the whole house. How many of y'all knew that? And in the black community, if my mama was in the whole house and my grandmother ran it, that's a scene of pride. Why? Where he lived was in Peoria. So when they have the mass convention from all over the world in Chicago, Peoria is just 90 miles away. And then white boys come down there, so can't nobody see them. I mean, white folks can't see them. Huh? And they do it all over. And when they show up, he bring them, pull in front of the house, and honk the horn. That's where the word honky come from. And y'all ain't slowed up to say, wait, let me back up. Honky. Let me explain. Honky, what is honky? That's what it is. My mama told me Santa Claus was a white boy and she was buying the toys. That's my mama. See, I can't talk about your mother because you niggas are lying. My mama said, tell Sears, the bill, I'm not here. Anytime you tell a child to lie for you, they'll lie to you. Huh? That's what this is about. And I'm thinking about how many black folks in America will take your children to Disneyland to see a rat that never carried them to King's grave or King's tomb. And had he not died, you niggas wouldn't be welcome. Y'all just a bunch of ungrateful thugs, and you don't know it. The number one zoo in America is not far from here. Forest Park. And if I went out there and got me a gorilla and took a black woman with me to see the real God, the gorilla could get in, but you couldn't, because the gorilla looked the same as it was when the universal God made it. He ain't got no green shit in his hair ain't dyed black, and all that bullshit, but you have. And that don't bother you? That don't bother you? I do about 250 dates a year, and I'm happy because I'm very seldom see black folks. And if any of y'all ever been around, white folks love me. Why? Not that I'm honest, they feel no hatred. Black men come home, the white boy done everything to you. You ain't mad at that cracker. You gonna come home yelling at, it's my house, nigga, I'll kill you. That's what you say to your son. Hold up, huh? And you don't even know it. Call you a strong sister, but the nigga called his car beautiful. And that don't bother you? His car is beautiful and you strong? That don't bother you? Somewhere. Let your niggas play football. You see slavery all over again. You don't. The niggas on the field, you call it the ball, look like cotton, the white boy sitting on the bench with the clipboard trying to look intelligent. Does that don't bother you? Somewhere. Queen Elizabeth made $360 million every 24 hours. Just interest on her money. When that little ignorant nigger Cedric the Entertainer said King was a whore and Rosa Parks didn't do nothing big, she just too tired to move her big black ass. If he'd have said that about Queen Elizabeth and Mother Teresa, the nigga been dead in 24 hours. 24 hours. But that don't bother you all? Are you gonna call yourself a man or a woman? You gonna call yourself, think they qualified, you qualified to raise children? Huh? Somewhere. I grew up here in St. Louis. The best thing ever happened for me is I used to go look at the opera every year. When the opera opened up, I didn't know what they were saying. That's my brothers and my sisters. I ain't never bought a blues record. You know your ABCs there? No messing. You kept repeating, right? Why you gonna listen to blues over and over and over again about your baby done left you? Why you put that negative shit in your head? Huh? Go around the world and see who listen to blues. Oh, you can dance. And we convince you black sisters you got a fine ass. Oh, you just buy into that bullshit? The universal God, the same God that made the oceans, put every star in the sky, made your ass, and that's where the shit supposed to be at. How can that be fine? You walk down the street switching your ass, it's full of doo-doo. The bigger the ass, the more doo-doo you got in. Huh? And you don't feel that. If I'm 400 pounds and got a big ass, how come nobody say your ass is fine? And those of you who got a big ass and believe it's fine, go home tonight and take you a small knife and cut your ass and see if diamonds come out or shit come out. Huh? My success is some kind of way I knew who that black woman was. Because I watched you. I see what you can do. Watch it. somewhere. Y'all sit here at a white racist institution. I went, but I knew what I was going to. I knew what I was going to. And I saw to it that my children would never go to a white school. I'm sitting there and the professor, you ever had a professor put his foot up on the desk and start talking? That's when I left. Because he cannot sit there or she and look at me and relate with her daughter's child. But then your mom and your daddy let you ignorant niggas go to war. Huh? And y'all come back all proud. When they built the housing projects here, they named it after the black Wendell, was it Wendell Phillips? Not Wendell, what's his name? Wendell Pruitt. They named it after him. This nigga was famous because he took a machine gun and sunk a battleship, and they named it after him, and y'all couldn't figure out why them niggas were so violent? Huh? It was named after a violent person. Out of all the nice people you could name something after, they name it after this ignorant soldier. And you niggas go to war, and you come back just as proud. I listen to my president. Saying, God bless America. And I see Hitler saying the same thing. God bless America. God bless Germany. Huh? Go over there and kill women, children, babies, and then come back and the white cop slap you upside your head and the nigga ain't gonna get his gun. And them Vietnamese and Koreans, you niggas went over there and killed. They can come where you live now and open up 4 stores, nigga, and you can't open up one. And that don't bother you? What you call where you live, a community? You don't live in no community, nigga. Community is where you own the banks. You decide your education. You determine the cops. You don't do none of that. You live in a hood, and a hood is something you put over your face when you're trying to hide something. That's what you are. Them white boys make you mad downtown, and you come home and jump on the wife and the children because you ain't gonna say nothing to one of them crackers. Nothing to one of them. The cops here is 1,000 times worse than the cops in Ferguson. Y'all don't even know that. And they show you how bold, at the height of Ferguson, a week after that, cops killed a nigga here. Huh? Here, while the whole world was looking. Huh? And that don't bother you. Al Sharpton is probably the most powerful black in America. That ain't got nothing to do with what y'all like. Most of the shit you like, you can't get. You got a Rolls Royce? You got a private jet? Why? Because he had a show 5 days a week on the white network. On Kathy Hughes, he had 5 days a week. 4 hours every day. Al. And when the Pope came to America, went to New York, the only place he went black while he was here was that black school in Harlem, and they told Al to get out of town. He wasn't even there. But any time somebody gets shot, they go pull him out. Huh? He wasn't even there. And when he came here, you looked at white supremacy at its best. No white women was with him. No older white men was with him. Just a bunch of old, ignorant white men who run that shit that was founded by the Knights of Malta. Okay? kept jumping out the Pope mobile, hugging the little crippled children. Now you know somebody told him that little white boy over there is crippled. Then 2 months later, he go to Africa, he ain't touched a black child. And that don't bother y'all? Huh? That don't bother y'all? Somewhere. If you just knew. Y'all pick up all that bullshit in the white papers and think you know something. Well, they said they're not gonna clear this judge. Garland. That's my brother's name. You know that's the judge's name, don't you, Garland? The worst tornado they had this year was in Garland, Texas. I was 2 miles from there. I told him, wife, y'all should be scared. The tornado killed 14 people. We didn't know that night. We turned 1,000 people away from the show, and every white person in Texas said, stay in the house. I said, now you see real niggas don't listen to y'all. That's who you are. You niggas talk about what you invented and what you did this here, and then come in and listen to this simple white boy shit. Marie Antoinette. You ever heard of Marie Antoinette? You ever heard of Marie Antoinette? You know what she looked like? Huh? I just asked a simple question. I come here to trick y'all. I'm telling you this for a reason. Marie Antoinette she ran France. Huh? And all she told them poor folks is let them eat cake. Now, I'm 85 years old this year. I ain't never met a nigga didn't like cake. They brought that country to its knees because you can't tell people what to do unless when they say they want it. Huh? One of the greatest armies at the time. And all that wind said is let them eat cake. And everybody, niggas can't read or write. White folk don't even know what France is. Know what that hoe said. Huh? I see some of you a hoe. What's a hoe and a prostitute? Anybody that sells their talent. So if you're a school teacher or a brain surgeon, you a hoe, nigga. Anytime you sell your talent, that's what it means. Okay? That's what it means. Huh? Well, I have to do this for the kids. Let them die. You let them niggas go to the army and die. That don't bother you. But when it comes our turn, the thing that changed me were my brothers and sisters. I lived around. I didn't like none of them. They here now. I didn't like none of them. Niggas was drinking the Kool-Aid like I was. Heard the same thing I heard. Huh? Niggas walk around talking about Sumner High School. In St. Louis. Niggas went to Sumner, thought they was better than niggas that went to Vashon. Niggas went to Vashon, thought you was better than niggas that went to Washington Tech. But that's just a technical school teaching niggas how to screw shit. How to use a hammer. But what they didn't tell you, Sumner High School was built 125 years before I got there for 500 whites. We got there and had 8,000 blacks and they hadn't put one brick in the school. Huh? So we had classrooms with like 128 people in them. Sumner High School, about 40% of all of our teachers had PhDs. Some of them had 2. Why? Because we had a black principal trying to prove something to white folks. Trying to prove something to white folks. Dr. Warren St. James, 2 PhDs. Ron, he had 1 PhD in what? You remember? No, not sociology. Huh? Economics. Economics. PhD in economics. And then after we integrated this stinking nasty, he died. He was chairman of the business department at Hofstra University, one of the fine schools, if you can have one. Huh? Not because of him, huh? What we did. Turned the whole thing around. Can you imagine a PhD? 2 of them, some of them had 3 PhDs. And we tolerated it. We tolerated it. Somewhere. Y'all do the same thing now? Black police that couldn't arrest white folks. If they saw the cracker kill somebody, they couldn't arrest them. Was it Clarence Lee, Middlebrook, and Big Black? You ain't old enough to remember them, are you? And then one day, Fred Grimes, a nigger killed an Irishman on St. Patrick's Day. They went into the hospital, questioned the little 2-day-old babies. You know anything about this nigga? And Fred Grimes got a tip that he was over in East St. Louis. Violation. You ain't supposed to go to another state and arrest him. Ted went over there and Fred went over there and whooped that nigga's ass and drug him over the bridge. That's when they let niggas arrest white folks. It's a game. And y'all come through it and move through it. My oldest daughter got 2 PhDs in sex harassment at the workplace from the London School of Economics. If she came in to testify for you or you, they can't bring nobody else in because with white boys' bullshit protocol, she's the only authority on the planet. Because nobody on this planet got a degree in sex harassment at the workplace. Because I told my children education ain't nothing. I know I've been there. Huh? Ain't nothing. I say, go to school. Did it ever dawn on you? You have children. You know about the truancy law. If you don't have them in school by a certain age, they can put you and your lady in jail. But if you got 5 children and 3 of them starved to death, they just take the others, put them in the foster home. How I get more time for not sending this child to school than 2 of them die in my house? Because I need them there so I can get to their head. I need them there. I can get to their head. Get to their head. I don't know how you niggas join fraternities and sororities. Greek? You know, African was on the planet before Greek was born. Huh? Any of y'all fraternities in there? Sororities? You married, brother? Did you ever teach your wife the handshake? That's the first thing I did. Huh? Taught the handshake. There's some white boys here that say you can't share it with your lady. I went through in 1950 One. And if you lived in St. Louis at the time, you couldn't be nothing but a Kappa. Oh, them Kappa, them niggas was crazy. They could dance, they could talk shit, huh? So I went to Southern Illinois University and knew I was going to be a Kappa. You brothers and sisters, look at these old black men that finished high school. They still wear their ring, their high school ring. Because the nigga know that's as far as you was going to go. The ring. So I was class president, and I really didn't deserve to be class president. Douglas Allagood, light complected. In the history of Sumner High School, they never elected a dark complected nigga to be president of the senior class. So I went and I told Doug. I'll tell you how smart Doug was. Doug became senior vice president of RCA Victor. Douglas. Brilliant. I went and I told him, I said, Doug, I just want to break this to you. I said, I'm declaring myself the president. And I know you should be. So you tell all your partners. I said, look in that bag I got, it's a baseball bat. I wish one of you would tell me that you don't want me the president, you will die here. Yeah, you will die here. All you niggas talk about is what kind of barbecue sauce you make. Don't nobody make sweet potato pie like my grandmother. So I became president, and I had to do it quick because we had class day. They still have it in high school now? Senior. And whoever's the president, you have lunch with the folks we buy the jewelry from. So I had to meet with this white boy. Determine how many class rings we was gonna buy. So he met with me and he says, how you doing, boy? I said, your fucking mama's a boy. I know that shocks y'all, but you know what don't shock you? Open up your Bible. You ever read the story of King David? Anybody? King David looked across the balcony and saw that naked woman and sent for her and knocked her up and got her. That's in the Bible. That don't bother you. Huh? And then David had to find somebody to blame it on. Her husband was down on the north flank fighting the war for King David, so David sent for him. And after he went back, she told David, said, he didn't pleasure me. He didn't think that he should have pleasure while his men are dying. So I ain't got nobody to blame it on. So David killed him. That's in the Bible, okay? All right? That's in the Bible.